I can cover my ears.
Hold on, hold on. I have to like lock in.
I can go over there. I'll
No, no,
go over
no. It's
there.
not you, it's me. All
What's
right,
up,
guys.
everyone?
What's up, guys? Welcome back.
Welcome back to the channel.
Oh my God, guys, we are here with the legendary Alana Thomas, who is just off of her run as Persephone at Xavier College Preparatory
Yes.
Academy. Yes. Oh my God. So, okay, so let's just jump right into it. What was
Period.
your first exposure to musical theater?
My first exposure to musical theater, I'm guessing probably this is so bad. Literally 2014 Annie, the like recorded version with Jamie
Oh,
Foxx.
that was such a good one.
I know, and people like hate on it, but honestly, that's like what inspired me to like want to do that. I was like, okay, period. I want to go around New York City with like a cute little dog and like be
That
Annie. Like I loved it. I was
movie is
obsessed with
so
it.
good. The movie's so good. I
So
literally remember
good.
watching it like 50 times. And so,
Literally.
Annie being your first interest musical theater, who was your biggest musical theater influence
Right now, or just like in like when I was younger.
right now?
Okay, period. Um, Honestly, I'm trying to think of like who's like my fave right now. Who's like really getting me up
Hmm.
in the morning, be like, I want to be them.
Yeah.
Period. For a while, it was Sierra Boggess who played Ariel. She originated the role of Ariel on Broadway.
Yes.
Loved her in Phantom, loved her. But I think like right now, I'm looking more at like Eva Noblezada. Love her so much.
Oh,
My
yeah.
queen. Love her to death. Sam Polly. Love her.
Queen.
She's literally my queen. Just like I love girls that like sort of like have like sort of like the same heritage as me. It
Yeah.
makes me feel like very comfortable in my own skin and that like yes, you can play those parts. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
And yeah, and all three of them are like killing it right now. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're amazing.
yeah. So I
They're
was looking at your
amazing.
resume and I was like, whoa, this girl's been in so much. And one of my things that like struck out to me was you played Regina in Mean Girls.
Yes, I have. I played her in Mean Girls Junior in Chicago when I lived there. And oh my
Wait, you lived in
gosh.
Chicago?
Yes, I did. I lived in Chicago up until the summer going into my freshman year, so 2022.
Hmm.
And yeah, yes, I'm a
Wait,
Chicago
are you
native.
from Arizona? You're from Chicago.
Yes.
Wow. And is this your first time like living in Arizona?
Yes. Yeah, I've never lived here,
Oh.
but now I have.
That's
Period.
that's so cool. I didn't know you're from Chicago.
Chicago. Yep, love
Okay,
it so
so
much.
for that, what was the audition like?
Honestly, it was an open call, so that's
Hmm.
scary. Open
Yeah.
calls are always terrifying.
Hmm.
And I had to do it in front of a bunch of people, and um, I don't know. I just remember being like, okay, this is my time to shine. I want this character so bad, and no one else is going to take it from me.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's sort of like the mindset that you have to go into when you're auditioning
Hmm.
is that I want this. No one else is going to get it. I can't worry about anyone else.
Yeah.
All I can worry about is myself and putting on my best performance, sort of thing.
Hmm.
So I just remember, putting on my best resting bee face
Yeah.
and singing my heart out. I'm trying to think of what song I did. I think I did Cooties from Hairspray.
Oh,
That was
that's a
my
good choice. That's a good
It's cute.
choice.
It's cute. It's cute. I feel like Amber and Regina sort of have those same like vibes, sort of
Yeah.
blonde, mean, love it.
Hmm.
Anyway, so I remember just giving my biggest like resting bee face,
Yeah.
being super duper sassy, giving it my all. And
Uh-huh.
then during the callback process, I remember like being with a bunch of other girls, obviously.
Mm.
And again, it was like open in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And it's very intimidating, but you just have to be at peace with yourself
Hmm.
and just Let it all out.
Yeah,
Leave it on stage.
so you went in, you were like, I'm gonna be Regina.
Yes.
So were you called back for any other person, like, or only Regina?
I was also called back for Karen, and I
Oh,
love Karen. I
yeah,
think she is the cutest. I also
hmm
would have loved to play her too, but I was
yeah,
really gunning for Regina. I feel like there's always one person that you're specifically gunning for, and
yeah.
yeah, love it.
So what's in your audition book now? Like, you go to
My
audition, what are you singing?
What I'm singing, okay, period. I'm most likely gonna sing. Let's try to think. Oh
She
my
doesn't want to spill all
gosh.
the secrets. She's like, guys, no one
Spill
stole
all
my
the
song.
secrets. Sometimes, well, it just depends. Like if I'm doing more of like a classical like show,
Yeah.
then I'll do something like trying to think of Me from Phantom of the Opera.
Oh,
Super
okay.
hard song. Love it to death though. It's
Yeah.
so nice to like have that song that's more like in the upper range. Love it so
Mm-hmm.
much. But then something more modern. I auditioned for Charlie in the Chocolate Factory down at BYT,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I used That's Rich from Newsies,
Mm.
and I think it absolutely that song is just so good, and
Yeah.
I have such a good cut for it. Well, so I feel
Yes.
like it's very good to make sure that you have two different, like you have a classical
Mm-hmm.
one and a modern one that you're really comfortable with,
Yeah.
and that's like perfect in your range.
Hey, can we just I don't know if anyone knows this, but like because we met in an audition room. Like we met
Yes.
at auditions and then at callbacks, and
Mhm.
you're just such like a warm person in a room. And I feel like sometimes you get into callbacks, it's like, oh my God, it's so scary. But like we have those people like you are just like so happy, so like welcoming. And was that your first VYT audition, right?
Really, yeah. Yeah, that was
Hmm.
my first VYT audition. And I was so like nervous because like
Yeah.
obviously I was like a newbie. I had never auditioned at VYT before. And then I got there and everyone was just so nice. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, I can like be myself here. Like I
Yeah.
actually low-key love it. So then I
Uh-huh.
came back for Hunchback and I was like, okay, period. Like I know some people, like
Hmm.
I can kind of get into this.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Sadly, I didn't get to do either show because of course I double booked myself.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know,
What would you
awful.
double
But
book?
so I ended up doing Little Women at AYT, which I got a lead for, which
Hmm.
was huge for me. That was my first like real like sort of like outside of school
Yeah.
sort of production.
Hmm.
And then my gosh, I'm trying to think what was going on with Willy Wonka then. I think I was I doing damage stuff? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Oh, I got casted in a movie and I
Yeah. Oh,
had
Queen.
period. You,
Eat
I
it
got
up.
casted in a movie, and that same week, the same week as show week, I didn't realize it, but there was like a sort of like a booking thing going on there. I was filming the same time that, anyway,
Yeah. No, that I hate when that happens, especially with like an audition of something like you really want to do. It's like, oh, well, maybe next time.
I
But
was so mad. I really wanted to do Hunchback. I
yeah.
was so like, I just wanted to be a
Mhm.
gargoyle so bad.
Wait, were you at the Hunchback callback?
Oh yeah.
I remember meeting you and interacting with you at the Wonka callback, but did we do stuff together or no?
I mean, I was called back for ensemble gargoyle
Yeah, type
stuff.
B. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
So I was there with like Bryce. I was there with trying to think who else I was there with. There was quite a few
Yeah.
people. No, not Chloe Finch. There was a few people that I remember specifically from
Yeah.
Willy Wonka that were also there. I
Hmm.
don't remember if you were there because I remember they split us off into
Yeah,
groups.
there was many days for that.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
But oh,
So did
love
you do
Hunchback.
shows in Chicago?
Yes, I did.
So how is
And
the audition process different in Chicago than Arizona, or is it like the same?
I think it's pretty much the same.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it's just I'm not even gonna lie, I feel like there's such a huge pull of people, like audition pool. There's so many more people than there are here,
Oh
which
yeah.
obviously makes it even worse. Like, ugh.
Hmm.
makes it more intimidating. But I feel like it was a good like wake up call for me early on to like be able to like go
Yeah.
from such like a high volume capacity of people to like a
Yeah.
smaller place. Because now I
Mm-hmm.
know like once if I do end up pursuing this, like I know what to look out
Mm-hmm.
for, I know what to expect, sort of thing.
Yeah. So you auditioned for Regina, got called back, so now you're in the show. You're Regina. And how do rehearsals work in Chicago? Are you doing like the typical like 6 to 10, Monday through Thursday, Saturday 10 to 6?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much they all played out the same way. It's
Yeah.
everything is typically the same. It's just
Mm-hmm.
you're in a very crowded city, which makes it terrible. And it's
Yeah.
also freezing cold outside. So
Mm-hmm.
that's terrible too. I mean, everything was basically the same. We did it at a small like black box almost place.
Yeah.
And I just noticed that a lot of theaters like VYT are just so much more like spacious,
Yeah.
like there it's really hard to get your own like space in Chicago
Oh yeah. Yeah.
because everything's so cramped already that like
Mm-hmm.
finding like big places like the what is it called, the
The
Herber,
Herberger, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, like getting a place like that is so hard to find in
Yeah.
Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
1,000%.
So what was the most unexpected thing that you discovered while playing Regina?
That I guess my typecast is like not what a typical person who looks like me would be.
Oh.
Like
Mm-hmm.
like with Regina and like Elle Woods and like those sort of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like typically you don't see like a mixed girl playing these characters.
Yeah.
Like that isn't very normal. So I
Mm-hmm.
have to like be like, okay, like I want to be the one to break the mold.
Oh
So it made
yeah.
me sort of get like that confidence in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got more confidence playing these characters that don't traditionally look like me.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah.
So was there ever any like conversations with like Elle Woods and Regina where they're like, "Oh, could you be blonde? Blonde wig, dye your hair blonde." Was that ever a conversation that you had?
With Regina, no. But with Elle, I recently talked to a director about it, Sarah White. I love you. I mean, being blonde obviously is a part of the plot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like with stuff like that, it's like obviously like a wig and stuff like that. But with like
Mm-hmm.
Regina, it doesn't really affect the plot. So
Yeah.
I was able to be natural and brunette, but
Yes.
yeah, love
I
it.
love that so much because I feel like sometimes when you do look so different from the original picture a director has of a certain role, that could be one, intimidating, two, extremely challenging to sell yourself not only to the director and the casting, but to the audience. So, what was your experience with that? Did you really get any sort of like what is going on here? Back talk?
I mean, I guess people like obviously I would hear from other people that like, oh, so and so's parents said like did or so and so's parents didn't understand why this girl um looks a certain way. Like that's not what they had in mind.
Yeah.
I've played, Cinderella before and people are like, since when is Cinderella like brown? Like why does she look like this?
Yeah.
And honestly, it never really affected me. It still doesn't affect
Mm-hmm.
me, but it's a problem that's becoming more like current. Like I hear
Yeah.
people talking about like these like out of left field casting sort of
Mm-hmm.
things. And I'm just like, you know what? People are starting to cast outside of type.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a blessing, but a curse just
Mm-hmm.
because of all the backlash you can get from something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is, you said it perfectly. So I have a question. It's kind of funny. If you can give Regina George one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. Hmm. Look up what Kelting bars are.
Yeah, yeah, I would start there. I think she kind of wouldn't want to go down that path.
I'm joking. She like, I don't know. I just feel like Oh my gosh, that is such a good question, period. One piece of advice. I mean, I guess it's to put sort of that self-love that she
Mm-hmm.
has for herself towards other people, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
obviously you don't want to be hateful forever. You want to be able to
Yeah.
have that sort of growth and maturity. And you
Yeah.
know what? I relate to Regina in that way. I have my bad moments, but you need to
Mm-hmm.
be able to be like the bigger person and step away and be like, okay, sort of like analyze what you're doing wrong and how you can grow from that. So period.
Yes, period there. So if anyone doesn't know, your brother is a baseball player. And I don't know much about
Yes.
sports, so you might have to help me out with this. So could you explain who your brother is and what position? Is that
Yes.
okay,
Period.
position? Period.
So my brother is Alec Thomas.
Hmm.
He's currently the center fielder for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Hmm.
He was a part of the 2023 World Series team. And yeah, I mean, he's out there doing crazy stuff, making crazy catches.
Hmm.
He's gotten nominated for three Golden Gloves, which is huge in the baseball world, apparently. I mean, I guess it compares to like a Tony, maybe. I don't know.
Three Tony. I totally thought you said Golden Globe. I was like, oh, Golden Globe as a baseball
Golden Globe,
player.
period.
So
But
when
yes,
so when did you realize that your brother's success might impact how people see you?
I mean, honestly, as soon as I got here to Arizona, which was my freshman year, I had
Hmm.
people come up to me and say, "Are you Alec Thomas's sister? Oh, Alec Thomas's sister, blah, 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 blah." And
Yeah.
then when I did my first show at Xavier, that he came to, which was Matilda, in which I played
Hmm.
Lavender, um,
Yeah.
people would go and take pictures with him and not ask for pictures with me. And I was just like, oh, okay. Or be
Oh.
like, or people would like ask me, people from my cast would be like, hey, like, can we take a picture with your brother? Like, please. And I'd just be like,
Hmm.
yeah, sure. Like, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
But that's when I started figuring out, like, oh, like, I'm
Yeah.
not, I'm always going to be his little sister, no matter what,
Hmm.
sort of thing.
Yeah. And do you think it's because like, oh, we're in Arizona and the Diamondback is an Arizona team, so like coming from Chicago, that probably wasn't as like prevalent? Yeah?
Yeah.
Prevalent.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, period.
Okay.
I mean, yes, but I feel like at the same time, at the same time that we moved, he got super popular, uber
Yeah.
popular. That I
Hmm.
think that even if I were to go back to Chicago now, I would still get that sort of traction
Yeah.
if people knew even a little bit that like that
Hmm.
we could possibly be related.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure, honestly. The whole
Yeah.
situation sort of just like,
So do you
you know what I
like
mean?
it? Do you like him seeing your shows? Or
Honestly,
what's your relationship with
yes.
that? You do. Okay, so you do.
I love when he comes to see my shows because he's very good at analyzing people's acting. He'll always
Oh.
be like he'll always be like, so and so is a good actor. This person wasn't a good actor. Or he'll be like, you know what? I wasn't expecting this. Like at my high
Yeah.
school, we had like shows like the shows were like a joke at my high school. This is like insane. Like this is better
Yeah.
than I ever would have expected.
Hmm.
And he gets super into it, which is like super nice. And I
Yeah.
can tell that he really enjoys coming to the show. And like with Hadestown, he came and he was like, "Dang, Alana, I didn't know you could dance or sing like that." And I was like, "Hey, period." So yes.
Yeah, so did you growing up or now, did you ever feel pressure to pursue sports or were you like encouraged to find your own path?
I was definitely encouraged to play sports. I
Hmm.
played tennis for 10 years before I started up doing theater again.
Yeah.
Um, I was playing tennis at a super high level,
Hmm.
elite tennis. I've met Serena Williams. I've met
Queen.
every, I know, literally love her. I've met probably every single famous tennis person you could ever think of. I met Will Smith right before the slap happened because
Oh.
he was doing King Richard promos. And he came and watched me, my club, me play
Hmm.
tennis. And it was wild. I'm so grateful for all the opportunities that tennis gave me, but
Yeah.
I mean, just because of everything that was happening with my brother, he was becoming so famous. I
Hmm.
felt like I wasn't able to, I felt in my soul that I wasn't going to be able to reach that level of stardom that he has.
Yeah.
And I was just like, why am I putting so much effort into something that I feel like I'm not going to succeed in? So that's when I switched gears. And I'd always done theater since I was little. That was like my
Yeah.
favorite thing. But
Hmm.
then, like, once I was done with sports, I'm like, okay, shifting gears. We're going into theater and we're going full throttle and we're not backing down.
Yes. Yes. And wow, we are so grateful for that choice to go full throttle because I'm so sad I didn't get to see Hadestown, but I saw the clips. I'm like, and I saw a little rehearsal clip, but I was like, wow, I could just tell you were having so much fun. And I just feel like you really brought that character to life, and all of her essence was just in your performance. And I care so much about Hadestown. I'm like, wow, that I felt very proud of your performance. It was
Oh,
so great.
thank you.
So
Yes.
at the end of the day, how do you balance being proud of your brother, but also making sure your own voice and your own story is still being heard?
Mm, that's a hard question. I feel like I sort of balance that by sort of just like every single time I have a small win in life, I sort of just tell myself, okay, look, you're gonna
Hmm.
have big wins and you're gonna have small wins, and you need to celebrate yourself for both of them.
Yeah.
Just like how Alex celebrates if he does like okay one day and
Hmm.
how he celebrates when he does amazing. You
Yeah.
have to just like give yourself that, self-love and
Yeah.
sort of just be kind to yourself as much as possible. There's
Hmm.
no use in comparing yourself to another person, especially
Yeah.
if they're your family. It's just like you guys are the same blood. You guys are both talented. And that's what I just have
Yeah.
to tell myself. We're talented in our own different ways.
Yeah. And you already
Sure.
have people in the audience who are comparing you to um maybe Renee Rapp or, original cast recordings of something, but you're really my favorite thing about you is that you really put your own mark on things, and I really like to see that. So, I want you to pick one moment in your life, and what's one piece of advice you give to yourself?
Hmm. I'd say one piece of advice I'd give to myself is to make sure that you are really sure you want to do what you're doing, right?
Yes.
Making sure that what you're doing is beneficial to you, it makes you happy, it keeps you healthy, and it isn't going to cause you more stress than you already have in your life. And I feel like
Yeah.
that goes for anyone. Just like
Yeah.
make sure that you have that self-love and you have that sort of you're in that headspace to do
Yeah.
what you love to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is so lovely. So, I am dying to talk about Hades Town. Okay, so Alana here played Persephone at Xavier, and oh, it was so good. Do you want to talk about how that came about, like your audition and your experience? How did you get to Persephone?
Oh my goodness. So I had been working on Persephone for so long. I
Hmm.
mean, I started preparing for her in April last year, actually. I really, really, as soon as I found out that we were doing Hadestown, I was like, okay, I need to start. I need to get ready. I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm going to be. I don't know anything about the musical. I'm gonna figure it out though.
Hmm.
So I saw that AYT was doing Hadestown. I was like, okay, I'm gonna audition for it, gonna get myself a little bit of a taste of it. I did not even get casted.
Hmm.
So many people, so many people tried out. It was insane.
Yeah.
Um, and I was able to get a call back though, and it made me realize, like, oh my gosh, like this people are really crazy about this musical. And I was like, okay, period. I'm gonna learn the music even more. I'm gonna figure out what I like really want to try to gun for.
Yeah.
And that ended up being Persephone.
Hmm.
Persephone, just for me, is just like, oh, dream role. A
Yeah.
amazing. She's just like me. I just like
Hmm.
resonate so much with her. And
Yeah.
a period, I did so many voice lessons. I literally like did choreography for my audition. I did choreography for my callback. I was so set on getting Persephone.
Yeah.
I tried my best to go above and beyond what was
Hmm.
needed.
Yeah. So, how did you approach playing Persephone? What was your interpretation of the character? Because I heard that you and your Hades had like a little twist. And I was like, and people were telling me, they're like, oh my God, you have to check. I'm like, I was so sad I couldn't see it, but I was like, wow. Like, so let's talk about that.
This is my favorite question. I mean, when I was approaching Persephone, our director, Sarah White, made us do like vision boards of our character and also made us do like references, like what characters are you drawing from to make your own character. So
Yeah.
I um drew a lot from Lucy Gray from Hunger Games: A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, played by
Ooh.
Rachel Zegler. Love her so much. I drew from her. I drew from trying to think who else. Like Esmeralda. I definitely pulled from
Yeah.
Esmeralda. And I pulled from like all the wine ants I know in my life. Um, I pulled a lot from people, from like family members, specific family members. There's stuff there. I pulled
Hmm.
from my parents. I pulled
Hmm.
from different relationships I saw around me. And
Yeah.
I just really tried to make her my own in that way.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You did it so wonderfully. So, how did you show Persephone's transformation? She has a big transformation in Act 1 above ground and then Act 2 in Hadestown. So how did you show the two different Persephones?
I feel like when Persephone is up above, I really try to make her more like almost me, but with a little bit of a twist.
Yeah.
And then when I am when we're underground, when we're in Act Two, it's a complete switch. It's almost like a defeated yet hopeful sort of vibe that I'm trying to get from that I was trying to
Yeah.
pull from her.
Hmm.
And I feel like you can definitely see that in the song How Long, which me and David, Hades, performed together. And it's like you have to find that balance between like, okay, like I hate being here, but okay, I'm gonna fight through it sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that transformation is arguably one of the most important aspects of the show because you start here and you're introduced as like this lovely, just full of life. And then act two, you're just like, well, anybody want a drink? Like that's how I
Period.
see it. And I don't know. I just love that character arc of Persephone.
Yes. I just remember um Sarah White, my director, telling me that Persephone is supposed to be scared, like not scared, but like disgusted by the propaganda that's happening around her and that her
Mhm.
husband is creating. So I feel like in Why We Built the Wall, which is such an important song in the show,
Yeah.
it like really shows the difference between Hades and Persephone, and that Persephone is able to see past the propaganda, and
Yeah.
all she wants is her love to come back to her.
Hmm.
And that was so fun and challenging to portray for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So, what moment in the show do you think reveals Persephone's true feelings the most?
true feelings. Hmm. I'd say probably How Long. Again,
Hmm.
mentioning that song.
Great
Oh
song.
no, it shows how Persephone realizes that her love story with Hades is intertwined with Orpheus and Eurydice,
Mm.
and she sees the love that Orpheus has for Eurydice, and she
Yeah.
realizes that, that's the relationship that her and Hades used to have. And in that moment, she realizes, okay, like I want that back. Like I know we can figure
Yeah.
this out. I know that this man is just covering himself in his work and
Hmm.
that he needs a support system. And that's what she wants to be is his support system. But first she needs to break down that barrier, break down that wall, if you
Oh,
will.
I see. Wow, I see what you did there.
And sort of show him that like by letting Orpheus and Eurydice go, that they can work on themselves, like they can work on
Yeah.
their relationship
Uh-huh.
too. Yes.
So, what do you hope that the audience took away from Persephone's journey?
That I hope that people take away that if you're ever struggling with something,
Hmm.
that taking it out on an addiction isn't healthy, and that
Oh,
there's other ways to cope with that,
yeah.
and that there are people around you who can support you, and there's plenty of other places that can help you with whatever you're struggling with, and that
Yeah.
alcohol, drugs, that's not the way to turn.
Hmm.
Yes.
So, what was the biggest challenge for you, if there was any, in singing her songs?
Oh my goodness gracious. So I am a classical girly. I am a
Yes.
classical girly. I struggle so much with belting. So much with belting. It's
Yeah.
actually really bad. So of course, like all of Persephone's songs, obviously, nothing in this show is really classical unless you're a Fate, because that's more like a
Yeah.
choirish vibe.
Hmm.
Um, and Persephone has like that jazz tone, bluegrass. Love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. I
Hmm.
struggled to find that so hard at first. Um, I would stay up really late at night and I would FaceTime Phoebe Kleinline. She went famous on TikTok. Love her so much. She played Hermes, and I would
Yeah.
just be like, where do I place this? Like, where do I place this belt? I don't know how to
Hmm.
belt. And she was just like, Alana, I'm telling you right now, throw your hand forward. So I'm like, okay. So I sang and I threw my hand forward, and boom, all of them just started coming out. Boom, boom, boom,
You
boom,
raised
boom.
your yaya.
I raised my yas, bro.
Oh my God. And
Literally.
Persephone has so much, she needs so much stamina. Like, oh my God. Did you do like the dance thing in Way Down Hadestown and then she just like pops up and starts singing?
Yes. Yes. Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
How was that?
Persephone is the most, I think she's the most physically demanding role besides Hermes. She is
Yeah.
dancing 24/7.
Yes.
Thank God I love to dance. And my Latino and African American genes have blessed me with the ability to dance.
Yeah, yeah.
So um I just and also I grew up dancing a lot. I
Yeah.
can't believe I'm admitting this. I was a K-pop kid and I learned every single dance, every single song possible and would sing it while dancing to this
Hmm.
foreign song that I did not know the actual lyrics to.
Hmm.
And I just remember like watching videos and like these like commentary people like clocking their stamina. And I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, I want good stamina if I'm going to be dancing and singing, if I'm going to be an idol one day.
Hmm.
And so I started really, really practicing on my diaphragm and making
Yeah.
sure that I'm tucking in my stomach while I'm dancing.
Hmm.
There were times where I would just get so winded, but I just remember that tugging in that diaphragm saves lives. And also running on the treadmill and singing saves lives. That too.
Yeah. So, how did you personally connect with Persephone as a character?
I personally connected to her in the aspect that me and her are both sort of like low-key crazy.
Hmm.
I'm a lively person just on my own. And
Yeah.
Persephone's lively when she's in the overworld, but beneath all that liveliness, there's a hint of like determination. There's so much
Yeah.
determination there. There's so much grit and so many layers there. It's a pretty exterior with a rough inside. And
Hmm.
that's how I feel like we connect.
Yeah.
That's the vibes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so amazing. Okay, so my last question. This is how I close all the interviews. If you could play any role, regardless of gender, age, or anything, what would it be and why?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I honestly would love to play Elle Woods. I have not played
Yeah.
her. I
Hmm.
want to play her so bad. I would
Yeah.
look hideous in a blonde wig, but oh my goodness, would I kill to play her? My
Yeah.
whole style is Y2K, Y2K pink. I love pink. I love
Hmm.
law. I love all of that.
Yeah.
She has been, Elle just inspires girls to do what they want to do. She's the real life. She's the Barbie. She's Barbie. And she's just everything to me. She's girly, she's smart. That's everything that I want to be. So being able to play her would be a dream come true, literally.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. You're so intelligent and I love all your answers with everything. So thank you so
Thank
much. This has been
you. You're
so
so
much
sweet.
fun. All right, bye
Yes.
guys.